Some say thronging cavalry, some say foot soldiers, others call a fleet the most beautiful of sights the dark earth offers. But I say it's whatever you love best. And it's easy to make this understood by everyone, for she who surpassed all humankind in beauty, Helen, abandoned her husband, that best of men, went sailing off to the shores of Troy, and never spent a thought on her child or loving parents. When the goddess seduced her wits and left her to wander, she forgot them all. She could not remember anything but longing, and lightly straying aside, lost her way. But that reminds me of now Anactoria. She's not here, and I'd rather see her lovely step, her sparkling glance, and her face than gaze on all the troops in Lydia and their chariots and glittering armor.
Anactoria is supposedly just a woman who was around at the time. So she was just someone that Sappho obviously had a little bit of a crush on. / she was whatever you love best.
Right.
I mean, I don't know that I would rather see like a bunch of troops. Like, you know, like that doesn't sound that nice aesthetically. But okay.
When I look up Anactoria, it says this fragment is often referred to by the title "To an Army Wife" in Sardis.
Actually, that makes a lot more sense now, though, because if you're like an army wife, seeing the troops coming home is probably a beautiful sight. And that's like the thing that you love best is all of the people of your town coming home or fighting off enemies so you don't get like sold.
Yeah, I mean, the comparison to Helen watching the war happen for 9 years, 10 years, however long. She left her husband, she left her child for Paris just because it was like the thing that she loved best in this interpretation, thanks to Aphrodite. Ties in quite well to the last poem we read, actually.
When the goddess seduced her wits and left her to wander.
She's judging Helen, perhaps, you know, like, oh, you left your husband, the best of men, you left your child, you never thought of them at all because the goddess seduced your wits. And yet, like a few poems earlier, she's like, Aphrodite, please seduce her wits so that she comes to me instead.
Yeah, there is like putting it on Helen for doing that, like abandoning her husband, but then it's like she could not remember anything but longing and lightly straying aside, lost her way, which feels like it's not putting it on Helen. Like that makes it sound like Helen didn't have the choice in the way that it starts to make it sound like she did at first.
Yeah, we can definitely get a good view of Greek values where she lists 3 things that some people say the most beautiful sight on earth, and they're all army.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good vibes on that one. Next one is Please Abanthus.
Please, Abanthus, your Sappho calls you. Won't you take your Lydian lyre and play another song to Gongala? While desire still flutters your heartstrings for that girl, that beautiful girl. Her dresses clinging makes you shake when you see it, and I'm happy, for the goddess herself once blamed me, Our Lady of Cyprus, for praying.
For praying. Thank you.
So, Abanthus?
Yes, in my brief Googling, it seems like these are also just 2 women that were around at the time. So Sappho's like asking one of her friends to play a song to another one of her friends.
So is she just like gloating because she's not the one who's simping this time?
Yeah. It's like, why don't you just go over there? Just like play her song. It's okay.
Death is not, you are not pale as grass. Play a song.
Play a song. Like, have you met Abanthus?
The goddess was like mad at me for simping and praying to her. So like, now you're the one doing it. How does it feel?
Her dress is clinging, makes you shake when you see it. Oh, my goodness.
Cute little sundresses, you know.
Why Our Lady of Cyprus?
It's referring to Aphrodite, who was born in Cyprus. The goddess herself once blamed me, Our Lady of Cyprus, for praying. It's kind of set up weird, but yeah, it's just Aphrodite blamed me for praying.
But she's happy about it. And I'm happy for the goddess herself once blamed me.
I think Allison's pegged it earlier when they said that it's like, oh, like you're the one who's obsessing over somebody else, not me for once. It also feels like high school to me in a way, like when your friend who's super uninterested and everybody suddenly gets a crush and you're like, oh my God, yes, finally, you're going to be with them. So cute. I ship it. Go over there and talk to them.
I feel like I had instances of like other people having crushes and being like, so who do you like? Because like it can't just be me, like we have to be in this together at the same time.
It's like, if I ask you, then you have to ask me.
Also, there's like an urgency, like take your lyre now while desire still flutters your heartstrings. Because like if you wait too long, this crush will dissipate and then I'll be the only one with a lady crush again.
But that seems to be how she approaches her own like romantic interest too. It's like there's a spark, and if you don't feed it, it goes out, which, you know, valid, but it feels like she thinks that human beings have no control over any part of this.
Yeah, I mean, her reliance on Aphrodite supports that belief. Like, it's like feelings come and go and they're not really up to us, so we gotta act on them while they're here.
Which, I mean, to be fair, like, they did not have a modern understanding of psychology, so probably that's how it felt. Like, emotions can feel really unpredictable and uncontrollable, and you just have to ride the wave.
So I think I would have time for one more.
Okay.
I'm trying to go see an apartment.
Yay, exciting.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe not. It's kind of hit. It's mostly missed so far, though.
Okay, so let's go to one of her other more famous ones. It's just a very quick one. Eros, limb slackener, shakes me again, that sweet, bitter, impossible creature.
Whoa. What does that mean?
So let's do the other translation. It clears it up for us quite well, actually. Second translation. Once more, love stirs me up, the limb loosener, a creature bittersweet, baffling.
The limb loosener. The limb slackener.
Yeah.
Scary.
Yeah.
But
so
it's
Eros. It's just love. The Greeks had they split love up into several emotions. Eros was like sexual love, physical love. So lust would be probably closer to how we would see it. Like lust, limb slackener, shakes me again, the sweet, bitter, impossible creature.
How bittersweet lust is.
How bittersweet. How baffling.
Baffling.
Impossible, even.
I find it interesting because often in translations, Aphrodite is called love, almost as like a second name. That actually happened once in our version of the Iliad. They were like, oh, love, what are you doing? And in this one, in the other translation, Eros is called love, which, you know, it's part of love sometimes. Eros, in the Romans called him Cupid. So that's the vibe there. Aphrodite's son, the one with the arrows. Eros. I don't think that's related, but that's kind of interesting.
It sure sounds related. Love arrows would be Eros.
Eros.
Love.
And I think this is kind of a good wrap up of all the other poems we've read today. Just like being completely rocked by love's sudden entrance into your life, like this outside force that just controls you, as opposed to you having anything to say about it.
Nothing you can do about that.
Nope. Aphrodite's got control.
And I actually wonder if this is maybe why, like, this deep belief in love being uncontrollable perhaps being why she had like the confidence to be herself in a way. Like she's kind of like, it's not my fault I'm attracted to women. Like this is a force outside my control. Like the gods are in control of this. I'm just like doing what they tell me. So it's fine. It's like the ancient version of I was born this way.
Hell yeah.
That is cool.
Cast love spells on your beloved for Valentine's Day.
Nope.
Not ethical.
I mean,
You
I
have clear conversations about how you feel.
a little bit of a advice segment.
Mm.
Brave, be honest, be open.
And also love yourself.
Yes. Feel Eros arrow for yourself.
Self Eros. And like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also feel Eros for the podcast.
Love us.
Love us. We love you.
Mhm. Love us back.
We would love it if you loved us back, but understand that you may have different feelings.
Yeah, if you don't, we're not gonna pray to Aphrodite about it.
Nah.
No, we're just going to keep trying.
We're gonna move on.
Love you.
Love.
Love, comment, and subscribe.